Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Berryman here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. Welcome to another wonderful Wednesday edition of Conversations for Humanity here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on our YouTube channel. We're so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you here today. Today is going to be another great and engaging conversation today with our special guest, Frank Tran, all the way from Toronto, Canada. So he'll be sharing his story with us today here very shortly. So again, we're just so humbled and honored for you guys to be here. And if you want to join our call, the comment section in our LinkedIn, and I will be posting it in our YouTube post here in just a second. If you want to join our call, this will be the way you can do that, and I'll be posting that here. So just be aware that we'll, like I say, we'll be wanting to get people involved in the conversation today. So if you want to join in, please click these links to join our calls. Uh, so on LinkedIn, the links are already there, but I'm going to be posting it right now on our YouTube channel. And we would love to hear from you. And again, welcome everyone to the Bring Humanity Together live stream. This is one of three open forums under the Bringing Humanity Together umbrella where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues are out there that are facing people today because it's our goal, our mission, our passion, our purpose, and I even dare say our calling here at Bringing Humanity Together to create environments that people love, not only in our workplaces, but also in our very communities. And as always, we'll be going live every day of the week. We'll be going live Monday through Friday. We have our community calls booked in at the beginning and at the end of the week. So if you want to join those calls, which both of them are at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, please send me a message and we'll make sure that you're on that call. And hello, Charles. How's it going there for you? We're glad to see you here today. And like I said, we're just so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you. So, Frank, you are the star of the show today. How are you doing today on this wonderful Wednesday?
Well, I think it's a sunny day outside. Um, I wake up early today. Have a walk, have a coffee, and just have a refreshing mind. Yeah, so to me, it has been quite a sunny and bright day for me. How about you, Chris?
Well, I'm doing good. I am doing good. I actually got off work a little earlier than what I was expecting. So that was going to be a great thing because I just knew today's call was just it was going to be truly amazing. And hello, Amber. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Glad that you're here with us today. So yeah, today was just a good day. I actually got into work early. In fact, I was at work at like 7:30 this morning. So I was in early and out early. So I was just so fortunate uh, that I got in and out and everything like that. So that was a great day. So Amber, how things going in your neck of the woods?
Pretty good. I've got some LinkedIn problems I've been having for about a week now, and I think we're beginning to get a little bit better. I can actually be seen in events again, which is a plus. Like the last event you saw me, and last week I had like 4 days where people could not see my comments. They weren't getting my tags. I wasn't even showing up in my audio
Wow.
rooms. And I couldn't have my audio room last night because it won't even let me schedule it. It tells me I don't have permission. So they're having to do all kinds of stuff with my account right now.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. That you couldn't even do anything for over a week. Wow.
Nope, not since last. It started last Tuesday night, and it was kind of choppy on Wednesday. Like some of the events I could go to, some of the events I couldn't, and then Thursday and Friday I was invisible. Thursday, Friday, Saturday I was completely invisible. Sunday, some
Wow.
people started to see me in events again. Yesterday or Monday I was completely invisible. Tuesday people saw me a little bit. Today they see me a little bit. So it's a mix.
All right. All right. Charles and Cambria, we're glad that you're here with us today. We would love for you to join the call. So please click this link and I'm going to share it with you guys. So here's the link that you can join uh, today's and tomorrow's call. Well, in fact, let me do it the other way around, um, because it would be a whole lot easier doing it the other way than doing it the way that I originally had it. So let me do this. Copy. Nope, nope, nope. Copy this here. There we go. That's a little bit better. And here we go. So we could be copying and pasting. And Cambria and Charles, um, we would love for you to join the call. And we're glad that you are here with us today. So here is the link for both of you guys. I'm going to send it to both you and Charles. So, Charles, here it is. And yeah, Charles, you're absolutely right. Hopefully, Amber's tech issues definitely get resolved soon, because I never heard of that, Amber, to where you couldn't even post a comment or anything. That is just so wild.
And and I'm not the only one. Like, I think Friday night, the event I was in, there were 5 of us who were not able to even put, like, we were all putting comments in, but nobody was seeing us. So we were having to, like, DM one another and say, "Can you see me? Did you see my comment?" And
Wow.
Lydia Bustler is in the same place that I am right now. She can't schedule events. Like, she can go to lives, but she cannot participate. She can't schedule audio rooms. She can't even get into audio rooms. It tells her she's unauthorized. So I'm not the only one with the issues right now.
Wow. Wow. And Charles, I feel you, man, because you're having tech issues too. So Charles, we're just glad that you're able to watch it. So that's the most important thing in and of itself. So, um, yeah, for me, Amber, what was really happening for me, at least, not only on LinkedIn Audio, but also for a lot of people who was trying to get on our audio platform, is a lot of people were not able to raise their hand for whatever rhyme or reason. That was just a thing that's been going on and
That
everything
was
like.
mine. Like, every time I raise my hand in an audio room, I get kicked out. And then I can't get back in the room. It won't. Sometimes it will. Like, I had one audio that was for 30 minutes yesterday and it kicked me out 6 times. And that was just me reacting. That wasn't even me like trying to raise my hand. I was trying to send like either a thumbs up or a heart to the host who was speaking. And every time I would comment, it would kick me right back out of the room and I'd have to like come back in. So I don't know. Like, they've told me to clear everything. I uninstalled all my apps. I cleared my cache on my computer. Like, I have done everything I can think to do. So they sent me a report saying you can report the one event you had wrong. And I was like, guys, it's 27 events. It's not one, it's 27 between live events and audio rooms. I can't do any of them. And they were like, oh, well, let's send it further up the chain. So, like, I keep getting passed from department to department to department, and
Yeah.
hopefully somebody will figure my account out.
Wow.
It's been a week. It's been a week. Like, I want to be able to have my audio room again. And I honestly was about to launch a business page, programs, courses, and I can't do any of it because I feel like people aren't able to get to my page now. I'm not going to go start a business page with all these hiccups as well. I'll wait till they clear it up.
Wow. All right. And I see we have someone new on our YouTube channel. Uh, Here is where you can join the live stream today. So let me kind of take a few things out so it'll be able to do that. So water flow, here it is. I just put it into the chat. So please, water flow, would love to hear from you on today's call. Glad that you are here and everything. And oh, okay. I got it now. Thank you thank you so much, Frank. That's good to know. That's good to know. All right. Cool. 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 All right. Like I said, I've sent um, some messages to our community, so we're going to get some more people on here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, since we'll only get like 5 minutes for where we usually start, I think we'll be good with that. I will turn it over to you, Frank. So please come share your story with us today on Conversation for Humanity.
Um, Conversation for Humanity. I think I've been through the process of self realizations a lot, and what I realized a little bit is to for humanity together, it should requires um, maybe teamwork, maybe or maybe about um, having the goals of collaborations and you know going towards the same goal because I don't know but I think that right now during everything around all the people that I've to be discussed to be inclusive or to be to have a environment that people who could join together as a team to work the same goal because I think it's better than um, not just say saying each one saying point of view, saying different stories, and it's really hard to have to have the connections or the same goals of the stories that that has been shared. Um, yeah, but, what do you think about Chris? I think that's kind of my point of view because right now, the to have a uh, inclusive environment, to have a is to have diversity. I think is to to have the purpose, to have the shared purpose of of storytelling. What do you think about Chris?
Well, to me, Frank, it all comes down to this very question I asked myself over 15 years ago, and I truly believe it leads into so many different other areas in our lives. Because, see, Frank, to recognize this, it really takes you into a much larger world. It's about not what you do, what you do, what you do. It's about knowing who you are. And once you know who you are, Frank, then you can allow people to be not only in the same world that you're in as they are in, but also in context, you can literally create an environment in any which way, shape, matter, or form that you want it to be. And you don't let others either try to drag it down, say, no, I don't want no part of this, or whatever the case may be. And if they don't want to have no part of it, that's fine. But if you create it enough and people start seeing it as a part of who you are, that creates the engagement factor and the true human connective dynamic factor that really brings everything together. Because if we can just, again, I will go to this great quote from Star Wars. In fact, I'm going to even share it right now. Let me go to my Instagram because I truly believe this is going to be a powerful one in and of itself. So let me share this with everyone today because, Frank, I think it's going to really lighten up your day and just truly add value to your sharing of your story. Because think about it in this way, Frank. Maybe we can do this. And I truly believe that we can. It's about embrace others for their differences for that which makes you whole. I truly believe, Frank, we're at a huge opportunity, literally, in humanity's evolution to really meet people where they are. And if you can create an environment with them to such an extent, not only does it help you grow and thrive, Frank, but helps them grow and thrive, then again, it's not about the differences that makes us unique to one another. It's also the differences and the similarities to each other to such an extent. That's what makes this whole, is it not? And I truly believe when that occurs in every aspect of our life, Frank, it's going to be game on.
I agree, Chris. I think to I think it's learning about um, respecting and understanding differences. It's a it takes a while for me, a time for me to actually learn about it. Um, to understand the differences and to embrace it in order that makes us whole. I think that's a very beautiful quote that when I start when I start listening to you like months ago, and that quote is really touching. But I think the quote is a thing, but I think in order to truly understand and practice this is the difference. Um, because I think that as when we go outside and experience life, and we came across uh, you know the people outside and the social life, um, to 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 learn and embrace the differences. It's it's learn to embrace it in a, I think, in the right way. I think because I don't know what you think, but we live in kind of a maybe a sensitive world. If correct me if I'm wrong. So to embrace it in a way that could help and motivate, or to help to connect and relate to people's life, I think it requires more of active listening
Hmm.
than just about you know telling and sharing the stories. Because I learned that because before I was like, yeah, I shared a lot, my stories like this, I share this and that. But now I'm learning more about listening more. You know, I learn more about in order to understand people, in order to build in self a compassionate and inclusive environment. I think it's being able to you know to listen, to hear. I think it's because I think as we are develop, and I think as we you know addressing and overcoming challenges in life, you know we all truly desire to be heard. Yep, I think that's kind of my perspective on having a compassionate and in order to passionate and inclusive and diversity environment. So yeah, that's all I want to share. Thank you so much.
Well, so let me ask you this, Frank, and then we'll welcome Monica in and really get this really just up and running now since we got some more people on. Let me ask you this, Frank. Do you look at life happening for you or life happening to you?
um the I think right now it's different that I was like I am is much larger than I was. When I was thinking that life happening to me, because you know I could share about me before. Why all this thing happened to me. And I'm still not seeing the results of that. But I think that because I was thinking that everything happened to me, and I was like, man, it sucks. But then, you know, um, for a while, um, after I think after undergoing and just understanding and receiving maybe the consequence of it, maybe about the lessons I've received in life, I come to realize that it's for me. It's for me to be better. All of those, maybe we could consider negativity or bad things, or maybe it's just for me to be better or for everyone to be better. Um, yeah, I could share with you on during this audio events. I used to be, I used to be a people that overuse like substance like caffeine and I smoke, but but I've cut for a while. I've been, you know, I learned lessons. I learned lessons because me
Yeah,
before I
yeah,
went out.
and the reason why, Frank, that I asked you that question in the way that I did is because more often than not, what we tend to do to ourselves, and also maybe in context to others, is we let life happen to us, and we always, in one way, shape, matter, or form, play oh woe is me, I'm back in this hole again, I'm right back where I started, I'm not making any headway, or everything like that. Or we get into the mindset and say, hey, I'm not worthy of this, I'm not worthy of that, and then we get so disgruntled and so taken aback about why we're not where we want to truly be. It's almost like the very definition of insanity comes into play. We do the things over and over and over again, expecting that different result, but it never pans out. And that gets us to that place of insanity. And that's why I truly believe, and what we truly believe here at Bring Humanity Together, Frank, is that when we let life happen for us, it creates a totally different mindset shift than we probably been led to believe. Because if we see life happening for us, then it opens us up to not only opportunities, but opens us up to people, opens us up to connections, opens us up to a greater sense of not only of who we are, but of how truly interconnected we really are, bringing that sense of oneness together. And once we see that come into our lives and we help each other create that environment, not only of the one that we love, but maybe of the one that they would love, that might just turn into the lot that they love if we allow that to occur, Frank, that is ever life changing and literally priceless in and of itself when we allow that to occur. So let's bring Monica in. Hello, Monica. How are you doing today on this wonderful Wednesday?
Hi, Chris. I'm very good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. How are you? Hi, everyone.
Oh, I can't complain. I'm still here. We got another show to do. So we got Frank here sharing his story and everything like that. So we're just so glad that you're
Hi.
here with us today across the pond
Thank you.
and everything. So I want to go to you, Amber. So far, what shows up for you right now in this great and engaging conversation with Frank's story?
Well, he talked about diversity and inclusion and acceptance, and like that's kind of my show for Mama Bear and supporting your trans child. Like it's we need to be a more accepting society, and I have that room because it's such a polarizing issue. There are so many people who are afraid to talk about transgender people, whether or not they're part of society or they're not part of society. Well, they are. They're people, just like the rest of us. And I have that room in a way so that people can come in and ask questions because I'm not transgender. They're not going to offend me, but they will offend somebody else who is. And so my hope is that coming in and talking to me normalizes that conversation so that they do feel like they can go out and speak, so that they do feel like they can humanize the issue, because right now that issue is being dehumanized. People, whether you're talking about politicians, social media, whatever, are trying to take that whole community and take humanity away from them. And so I guess you could say, in a way, my show is about reminding people that they deserve humanity too. And for what Frank is saying, like we do have to, we're not going to get progress if we don't all kind of get on the same level, the same playing field, the same, hey, can I help you out? You're going to help me out. We all move forward together. And like what Frank was saying, if we go into this individualistic mentality where you're just worried about me, that's not helping humanity. That's not helping other people. And you're not really progressing. You might progress a little bit, but you're certainly not bringing anybody with you. And I think true progress is when we move forward, but we bring everybody else with us.
And see, that is why I truly believe, Amber, when we help others build their field of dreams, they will in turn help build ours. And I will go back yet again to that great event that we had a number of months ago, and it's from, and I'll even put it in the link of that video from Julie or Dar, and it's truly so pivotal when you watch it, ladies and gentlemen. What she's all about, because she's even a champion debater by trade, and what she has learned is when you really get curious about someone or even want to have a conversation with them, you can have those curious driven conversations that is rooted not only in curiosity, but you choose that curiosity over clash. And then use conversations just like this one today that really can say, hey, I'm opening up the door not only to curiosity, but I'm also opening up the door to opportunities in and of itself. Because number one, I'm not making it about me. If I don't make it about me, it's going to be really awe-inspiring, really in depth and scope, really a collaborative kind of dynamic. And when we allow that to occur, next thing you know, we can use conversations or even video calls or one-on-ones or whatever that might be as a breeding ground and a climbing wall to move the dialogue and needle forward. And then at the end of the day, I truly believe, and what we truly believe here at Bringing Humanity Together, is then we can then, at one way, shape, matter, or form, be all rooted in common purpose. And the reason why I say in that context is I share with people every day, Amber, is number one, maybe it's about recognizing this, that I don't care how you start the race. I really don't. I don't even care how you finish the race. I really don't. What I care about the most is what did you learn along the way? What value was bestowed upon you? What value did you bestow onto others? And how did you end up getting to a place of not only becoming a really intent listener, not only from a place of intentionality, but also from a place of flow? And then out of that too as well, then you can really start really learning more and more each and every single day. Because see, what my father taught me at a very early age, he said, Chris, if you can learn one new thing a day, then you've had a productive day. And then we can start leading not only ourselves in a better and healthier way, in a new way of leading and a new way of being, but we can allow others to do the very same. So I'll go to you, Frank, in your journey on this earth and everything. What was the pivotal moment for you that you really said, you know what, I got to take control of my life? This is what I want to do moving forward. What was that moment that you can really, it's clear as day, remember this is going to shape me and define me for who I am?
Um, I think just maybe happened quite recently. Like before, I got really active on LinkedIn, and then took me for a while to kind of like I don't know, but I kind of lose the curiosity and maybe the motivations to keep going because it's, but uh, but then it come to the point where I was like hesitant and too silent that it kind of dragged me down a lot. And it's just recently that it's like maybe last week, just hit me that you know if I stop, or if I just you know hiding myself and just not facing my life, then it's gonna go down in a downward spiral. So that kind of bring me here. Just because I will shake myself a little bit that I gotta get up. I gotta start where I was left at and keep going and moving on. Because yeah, I think maybe for me, I thought what I thought that hiding away and not facing my fears or the challenges. Yeah, yes, it's comfortable. Like I just don't talk, just keep quiet and listening. So, but that's dangerous. That's that is really that I think. Yeah. So though, I tell myself that, oh man, you gotta get up. You gotta get up, pick up the sword, and you know get back to the battle. Because life is that's life. Because life is not. Because what I realized that you know I'm not like a child anymore. I'm not. I'm not. I need to move on in order to grow and learn. To 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 face responsibility and to grow. Because hesitance or hiding away from the problems will only make it worse. And I learned the lesson a lot. So it's just about what I shared about. So yep, thank you for having me. And it's been a while, and it takes me a lot to in order to be back. So yep, that's all I want to share about that. Chris, what do you think about that?
Well, for me, Frank, when we have those events or life changing moments in our lives, maybe it does take us either to get to the very bottom of the bottom to really rise up and really transform our lives. But sometimes we don't even have to go to the lowest of the lows to really transform ourselves. Maybe it's about that one conversation or that one uh, person or that chance meeting or whatever that might be that really can get us to where we really want to go. And when we allow that to occur, that one will turn into many opportunities, many inspirations, many different ways to really help others build their field of dreams. Same thing with us. There's many ways that they can help us build our field of dreams. It's about just letting things be, and it's when you really think about it, Frank. If we are willing to even let go of the outcome that we seek to get to the outcome of what we seek, maybe we can be better prepared not only to meet that opportunity, but maybe more importantly, see the actual interconnectivity to us to them. And then when we allow that to come into our lives and honor it and embrace it and just take it for what it is versus what it's not, I truly believe it's going to be a game changer for each and every single one of us. I'll go to you, Monica. What say you?
Thank you, Chris. So, Frank, I just want to say thank you for sharing your story, for being vulnerable with us. That's a beautiful, thing these days, especially. Um, it's quite powerful what you just said. When you feel that you keep repeating the same, things, and you are looping and looping back in, it's really important to take a step back and to sort of do the retrospection and not to focus on what I'm doing wrong or what's not working my way, but how far I've came, because obviously if you think about a human experience is a paradox, yeah. If you see our life as an experience, it's not the not focusing on the outcome of achieving something, of just getting somewhere, but enjoying the journey. And then we are humans navigating the humans' experiences, and our superpower is to not fighting life or obstacles. It's about accepting the past as I take as a lesson, and to learn from it. Because if you think about the paradox of growth, then discomforts start to make sense. We have to feel discomfort to sort of a step out of the comfort zone, because whatever we feel terrified about doing something or going somewhere, this is where the growth happens. Yeah. So we have to, it's almost like empower ourselves, give ourselves a chance to feel that discomfort to grow. And then in the moments like this, when you feel like you obviously it's important to not obviously dwell on the past and to not fixate yourself on the stuff that didn't went well, or you want to have that on the stuff that you've achieved so far, how much you've grown. Just compare yourself to like a last year perhaps, or the last couple of months, because sometimes we not really focusing on our growth and our achievements. We're just focusing on the stuff that we still want to achieve, or we, couldn't get. But if you think about a coincidental things, everything happens for a reason, yeah? So if you are facing challenges, maybe that's the message there. This is your lesson, perhaps, and then embrace this lesson and then learn from it and understand, okay, so it wasn't to get to the certain point, it was to learn from it, so I can then share my wisdom with the world, perhaps. Yeah. So that's what I feel. But yeah, thank you so much for that. So yeah, take a step back, retrospect, and then don't be too harsh on you, to be honest, because on the end of the day, it's you. You have yourself. Be compassionate, give yourself that tap on the back, because we sometimes being nice to others, but we can't see that person in the mirror, that we're supposed to be really nice to that person too, and compassionate, because on the end of the day, it's you and your inner child perhaps that needs to be healed, your wounds. And then just think about, what would you say to your future self? How would Frank will look like in the future? Just think about it. How does he wants to present to the world? What sort of qualities he will embody? Self-confidence, esteem, and try to be him. Yeah, meet him halfway. And even if you shoot for the moon and you won't get there, you'll be still amongst the stars. Yeah. So it's always step forward rather than staying in the same place and beating yourself for the lost battles. Remember, those lost battles doesn't mean that you won't win the war. So it's always a lesson. Just treat it as a lesson. And this is what builds you. It doesn't break you. It just builds you up, into the person that you're destined to be. Thank you.
What's your thoughts on that, Frank?
Well, I could share with you that who I am right now is the opposite of me, of who I was 1 year ago. Um, 1 year ago, I was egoistic. I was angry. I was self-critical because I was thinking that I was always thinking I was doing something wrong. I was not treating myself well, so I react. I'm a reactive person, and because I have been a emotional person before, so that brings me to the self compassionate and mindfulness road. because I lose friends because of that. I break relationships because of that. I break, I damage relationships because of my anger and my negativity. So yeah, that's the start of
But that's
my.
the growth, yeah, Frank. Don't be too harsh. Like I can hear you. And then you're a great person. We all of us, we all been there. That's where the wisdom is coming from those bad lessons. We were all, you know, we all probably ashamed now who we were in the past, but it doesn't really define you. Your past doesn't define you. What defines you is that growth. It's that lessons that you've learned, and then who you're becoming. And look, you were always this Frank that future self is destined to be, but you just empowering yourself and you're allowing yourself to embody those qualities now. So it happens for a reason. It meant to happen. You meant to break those relationships. You meant to lose those people along the journey. This is happens for a reason, because once you feel discomfort, once you feel that pain, that sorrow, then the growth happens, because then you lose everything. You have nothing else. You literally have time to go deep inside you and do that introspection. And then you see that, you see that soul. There's nothing else. There's no ego. That's when the ego dies. Yeah, that moment. So you have to go through all of this, uh, difficult lessons, I would say. So I'm really proud of you, and you should be too. Write about it. Try to sort of whenever you feel down, and then whenever you feel like, oh, there's so much to do, just write down, or just do the comparison against like past month or couple of months, where I am today when I was like a few months ago. And then that will make you feel a bit better about yourself, and always tap yourself on the back, because I'm telling you, that's a very difficult journey. It's so you should be proud of yourself that you are here, and then you share those experiences with us. You empowered yourself to the point that you can just to talk about your experiences in front of audience. That's a beautiful thing. So well done, congratulations. And then just keep going. You can only stop along the journey just to turn around and then look how far you come. Nothing else. Keep going. It's so much more to uncover.
Thank you, Monica. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank
Um,
you.
I don't know, but I think what I share is just because that um, sometimes, you know, sometimes just sometimes because like I let other people's opinion affect me, so that makes me.
Okay.
But
It's
I think it's about self confidence and connecting to the inner voice. And I'm learning to practice that a lot. You know, my inner voice is it's really important because before you know, the inner voice is the one who affect me, like who kind of you know decide what what I'm gonna do. Because if I tell myself this and that, or or if and right now I'm currently doing it. Right now I'm just saying to myself, man, you have come a journey, come a long way. You know, you used to be so. I'm not even. I used to be not even fluent in English before, but now in order to have a be speak like this, in order to compare and share about my knowledge and my experience like this, it's a long way. It's it's I was telling myself, like Frank, yeah, there could be these people say this and that, but just know to yourself that you are the only one who understand you,
Mhm.
Frank. Yeah, you the only one. You used to be a shy boy who cannot even speak. But now I'm in this room and with you guys. it's a blessings. And I started the LinkedIn journey like maybe from 3 months ago, 3 months ago.
That's a great
And
progress.
oh, thank you so much. And you know, I would say that it had been so meaningful and life changing. Life changing is the word I would say.
Mhm.
Because before, when my perspective about the world just kind of close in terms of my family and friends. But then I have the chance to talk and connect with the people all around the world. Had to spend to listen to the stories, to you know to have myself connect and open and being vulnerable to the stories. That makes me, it motivates me a lot. It empowers me a lot to to keep going, moving with the difficulties in my life, because you know I used to be like, yeah, my life is like this, like that. I'm depressed. It's just like the
Victim
majority.
mentality.
It's the mentality. I agree. But then I heard a lot of stories. I heard a lot of people who have experiencing you know losses, and I see myself, man, I'm still lucky. I'm still too lucky. So I
Exactly.
feel
And this is the happiness, Frank. This is exactly what, when you start to realize those mundane things that, people doesn't really cherish and see the beauty in like around us, and then how lucky we are to, like Chris keeps saying, lucky enough to, to live another day, to see the sun in the morning. Yeah, because some people, they just lose sight. I mean, there's so many really bad situation happens to other people, and then if we think about how lucky we are to still being able to be here to share those stories, and then to learn from our experience in that way, not even, you know didn't need to be, experience more painfully, that's a beautiful, that's the beauty of life. Yeah, when you see those mundane things and you can embrace it and you can be proud of yourself. And what I wanted to also say, it's a remember that people would always talk. The more successful you are, the more people talk. So embrace the fact that you will be unliked in your old environment communities. You have to have a new friends. You have to have a new environment of people who celebrate your successes, of people who celebrates you for who you are and who you're becoming, and they will cherish you. They will help you to sort of succeed on your journey. Don't I mean, it's like, don't hold tightly to the past, because past is the past. Leave it there. We have to, I know it's difficult. And then the more you go to the past, the more, painful it's going to be for you. But those people, they won't understand. I mean, I know you might like them, love some of them. It's fine. They would not see what you see. They will not be happy with your development, because they won't understand just because of this. It's like, we shouldn't be judging them, but distance ourselves, because you might those wings that you are growing now and start to fly, learning how to fly, they can, they won't be flying with you. They will try to, cut those wings, and then, keep you on the ground with them, because the more you grow, the more, triggered they would feel, they will be. So embrace your new destined success, embrace your future, and just, empower yourself, let yourself to, you know, um, to be in the future, and then just to get new people, new environment, build new community for yourself, people who really, support you in what you do.
And I love this great and engaging conversation and where it's leading. I love this. And oh my gosh, guess who has now joined us? She's all about being you, Brenda Lees is in the house. Hello, Brenda Lees.
Thank you. I hope I didn't interrupt any conversations that was going on.
No, you just being you. You just show up when you can, and that's all that matters. So that's good. We're glad that you're here. Uh, Frank, this really shows up for me right now, and I had to ask you, not only of you but everyone here. This I truly believe in this. Let me ask you this, Frank. Do you believe more in the journey versus the destination? Or have you been led to believe that it's the journey that was the most, not the journey that was most important, but it's the destination that was most important rather than the journey? Where do you sit when it comes to that dynamic of the journey versus the destination? What shows up for you?
Well, I think that the journey is the presence or the process, but the destiny is what or I should aim for, because the journey without the destinations we go like go somewhere or no. But I think without with destinations, it kind of it's like more goal oriented, and I have the same level, like I have the same the related experience with journey and destinations, because I used to be like over dreaming. I was like, man, I dream to be like this. I aspire to be this big. But but I think it comes from over expectations or not realistic. And now I just see that well, to I think that destination is important, because without destinations, without really acknowledging what we are heading towards, it kind of makes the life really more of more organized. It really makes us for more more goals, and you know but it's different. But because I was the person who doesn't have any destination before, because of not being realistic. But then, it's just that I'm realizing that, being realistic and take small step first, doing small things first, it's not about
But what's your destination now, Frank?
like short term or long term.
Just in general, do you have a vision of yourself in the future, or you have a certain destination that you're working towards?
Oh yes, of course. Um, I think my destination is like for me to go for to hmm, I don't know, but can I ask about your destination? Because it's, I don't know, but I don't really, I still really have difficulties in shaping the destinations. But yeah, can I ask what you guys' destination first, so I could really imagine myself like what is actually like the details is.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that this is the journey for, once you surround yourself with like-minded, like-hearted people, you will share, you will hear the stories, and you perhaps, get a more better idea about yourself, about having a purpose. And then the purpose is your inner compass, the purpose is your, it's the destination you're working towards, you're heading to. It's not a certain point on time. It's not a certain, specific qualities of yours that you are working towards. You just want to be the best version of yourself, and just really enjoying every day, living the present. Because obviously, if you fixate too much on the future, this is where the anxiety is coming from, and also having too much of expectations. You sort of limit yourself in terms of a time. You limit yourself in terms of I can't be more than this because I set this certain goal. No, no, no. I mean, we're not fixed. We're divine beings. We're fluid. We can be whoever we want to be. Yeah. Every time, anytime. So it's like, it's an endless possibility. It's a vastness of opportunities that we have. So being on the journey, but surround yourself with like like-minded, light-hearted people who will, force you or push you to grow, and you can surprise yourself that you have like those opportunities and possibilities within yourself that you never really understood and knew about. This is the superpower. Once you tapped into it, it's like endless sea of opportunities, and you can be whoever you want to be, honestly. So it's not, to me, it's not about the destination. It's about working towards, the best version of yourself, but really living the presence and then enjoying the journey as much as we can. Yeah. Thank you.
Well said, Monica. I'll go to you, Brenda Lee, because I know you got a lot to say on this. What say you?
I hope you guys are doing great. So lots of things comes into my mind on this. I'm a true believer that like having a clear vision of where you want to go, like gives you a motivation to keep going. But I don't think that's what we're talking about right now. I think what we're talking about right now is kind of like opening your heart and your mind to the endless possibilities of who you could become. And in order to do that, it all comes with your own inner self journey, right? I'll give you an example. Last couple of months, like I launched my business in December, and actually in January, and I was very open in terms of the niche. In March, I kind of like narrowed down my niche with a specific intention, and of course following advice from all the experts in the market, absolutely. And then around May I kind of changed it again, like narrowed it even more, because at that point that's what made sense, but it wasn't in alignment with me. So what ended up happening was I couldn't post the way I usually post. I couldn't communicate the way I usually communicate. I was struggling with the niche and presenting even my offers to my clients because it wasn't coming from a place of alignment. And I knew deep down inside, because of the way I felt and how my body felt, that this wasn't the path for me. So I decided when I moved to Florida that I was gonna go all in my spiritual journey, and I was gonna go all in up leveling. That was my intention for the last 2 months. Has been up leveling, and up leveling. And through my up leveling, what I've done is I've built a sense of connection with my inner self and my intuition, to the point where I can entertain many different things, but when something doesn't feel it's in alignment with myself, I can be honest to myself and say, that's not the path I'm going because it doesn't feel right. This is the path I'm going because it feels right. So through the process, I got the clarity I needed in order to change my niche. And I relaunched it like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And like all of a sudden, like the messaging, my posts, I'm inspired to create things I wasn't inspired anymore. And the reason why is because of that inner connection with myself that has all the answers that I need. Now, by having that inner alignment, what it has done is it allowed me to now open my heart to endless possibilities. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting all of these downloads of potential ideas that I wouldn't have gotten them unless I had gone through that journey. So I know this is long, but why am I sharing this? Because at the end of the day, it's not about necessarily the destination, but the journey that you take and how you build yourself up in that journey to get to wherever you're going to get. Now, that could end up being completely different than what you envision. And that's fine as long as it's just taking you forward, not backward.
Well, when you really think about it, Brenda Lee, if you're even willing just to show up for the journey, probably that in and of itself, that's all that matters.
I think it's more than showing up. I think it's showing up and taking action. I think you have to be able to show up, but the signals from life, from the universe, from God are going to come your way. And you have to take the action. So, for example, another example, if I'm constantly asking God for clarity, and then all of a sudden I get somebody come to me offering me a business opportunity, and I start to say no to everything because I'm waiting for that clarity, maybe that conversation was exactly the conversation I needed to have the clarity, and I blocked it out. So the moment we ask life to show us a path, we need to be open to the different paths that life sends us.
That's
All
beautiful.
right.
But just the one thing, I know that Frank is running to another meeting. It's Brenda, is exactly what you just said. It's the purpose. It's the why you embark on this journey, Frank. Just ask yourself that question, and you can go forth and back around yourself with people who would perhaps you can test different possibilities and opportunities, but then you find your own inner light, as Brenda said, your own inner truth, and then you realize, this is my purpose. This is the question, the why I'm on this journey, why I'm embarked on this self-development journey. Because, it's like a self-realization. It's this aha moments when you know who you are and how you want to show up to the world. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well
Thank you.
said. We'll go to Frank because I know he's got to get ready to go here in just a little
Oh
bit.
no, I'm cool. I'm just in the
Okay.
10 minutes, so it's fine. It's 10 minutes, but well, I think that what you guys share is touches my heart a lot because I have been kind of I like lonely in this lonely me, like I was just in the journey myself before. There's really a lot of people around. They just focusing on like careers on.
But that's a lonely journey. It's about being on your own, just to tap into your inner being and understand you. Because when you surround by your people, not necessarily, like-hearted and like-minded people, but other people, it's that distraction, that keeps you away from your true self.
Yeah. Yes. Well said. Well said. Amber, I want to go to your thoughts on this too as well when it comes to the journey and destination. What shows up for you? What really gets you on that bandwagon that says I'm always about the destination or I'm always about the journey? How does that show up to you in your world?
I don't necessarily feel like we have a destination. I feel like life is a journey, period. You're constantly learning what path you're supposed to be on, and the choices, the experiences you have say, yes, continue this direction, or no, don't go this direction. You need to pivot. And for me, I've pivoted so many times in my life, pivoting again right now, that every time you pivot, I think you just realize there's something within you that says, you know what I was doing, this doesn't align. Something's off here. And so my energy needs to turn to where I am attracted to. And you just keep taking that. And I think, like I said, yeah, life is the journey. Life, that is what it is. We are constantly changing what we want too, like our end goals. And that's the thing, the destination is never the same. My destination has changed so many times. And at the moment, I can't tell you what it is. It's a cloud because I know I have big things I want, but I'm not exactly certain. And that's okay. I'm taking the baby steps every day to get where I need to go. And I know that I'm in line with what my values are. I'm in line with what my intentions are. And that as long as I keep speaking that truth and keep sticking to that, then it'll take me where I need to go, wherever that is. I feel like your path is just kind of laid out before you and you travel it or you don't. Whether it's hard or not, I tend to take the path. And sometimes you learn from your mistakes, and sometimes you learn great skills or great things about yourself that you didn't see before and realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm really good at that. And I didn't know that. And if you hadn't walked into that experience, you would have never learned that about yourself. So I think it's always taking those opportunities and taking the growth from it. Again, not all of them are going to be positive. Some of them are going to be negative, but always pick what you learn from it and carry it on to the next.
Well said, and I love that. And that's a good way to look at it, Amber. That we really don't have a destination in and of itself. It's the evolving journey that we're always on. It's always going to be there because when when I look at it, I look at a destination as just literally the mile marker in and of itself of that very journey. And that's all it is, nothing more, nothing less. Because see, if we get into our heads that we must get to that place every single time, and then we make it, then we like have that, I made it and I'm okay, and the next thing you know, you're like, wait, do I got to do more? Yeah, you know, and see, sometimes the difference between and I'm just generalizing here because I've heard this from the great John C. Maxwell. He's like, the difference between great people and just kind of middle of the road people is they're willing to take that extra step and say, I'm not going to just stop at this one place. I'm going to go past that because I know it's again a stepping stone to something even bigger and better. Because see, if it's almost like a great friend of the program, Brian Sumner, he's even taught me this in and of itself. And I don't have the graph with me, but what they did is they took a survey, in fact, of I think it was like 10,000 entrepreneurs, and they kind of like did it on a success chart kind of thing. And they said the people who went above the plateau, so to speak, because they say when some people will get to a place, they will plateau, and that's all far that they will go, and everything like that. And then there are people who will say, I will get to this plateau, and then they start to drop off and fall off in and of itself. So there was almost like three different categories of people. People who saw the great potential in the journey, people who have reached a plateau, and that's all they will see is just the plateau, and that they won't go no further than that. And the people who reach the plateau but don't do nothing after that and everything. And I truly believe, again, that mile marker can really be that one, again, like I said earlier, maybe that one person or that one phone call or that one Zoom call, whatever that might be, even on LinkedIn Live or LinkedIn Audio, that might get us to where we want to go. And when we allow that to happen, next thing you know, our whole mindset can be shifted in a way that not only it's about showing up, but like what Brenda Lee said earlier, it's about willing to take that action moving forward. And maybe it's the smallest thing that we do will get us to maybe the biggest results and outcomes that we want. So Frank, this has been on my heart too as well. Let me ask you this. In the grand scheme of things, what would you like to actually be known for in and of itself? Be known for that you're willing to let life happen to you in such a way that it creates more opportunities, and it can really uplift you and really take you to places you don't even think that it could be possible? Or what do you want people to remember you by, that you were just only all about you? It's nothing more, nothing less. Uh, and I just let life happen to me, and if I reach that plateau, I've made it, and that's it. That's that. How people want to be remembering Frank for who he truly is, and wants, even from your future self kind of dynamic. How would you like to see people remember Frank Tran by?
I think um, I don't know. I just want the people to think that I'm the one who will make my family proud, which is the opposite that I've done to my, I haven't, which the opposite I was before. That's it. I think because I think like family is the most important, and I used to let them down a lot. But well, I want just people to see that it doesn't matter about what people think about. It's just about whether we could have and fulfill life and to take care of our happiness. And I want just to, yeah, I think that's it. Because right now I should be selective or just really serious about my expectations. You know, just before I was like, yeah, guys, I want you to think me of this one, leaders of this or that. But you know, to me, like it's not about thinking or wanting people to think of who I am, but it's just that to just want to see people that wow, I'm growing. You know, I I'm the one who could relate to a lot of people here. I'm the one who who have overcome such challenges that I could share with you guys or everyone on the larger younger generations in order to better continue to find inner peace and happiness because I think that's my journey also and I want to people or to be on that and to also find the inner peace and happiness because to me like yeah life is too short to you know life is it's like a ticking so yeah that's what I want to know like people look at me and say oh yeah this guy he has overcome he's becoming he has changed he has break down his old self and move on and will continue to you know to to pick up where he was although there are times he's down or there are by the time that he was such a you know maybe a worse version of myself right now but I think it's a journey for everyone it's to keep finding to keep finding and understanding ourselves because that's what I learned about mindfulness about Buddhism as well what I thought at first was finding I thought I know myself I thought that yeah I understand myself I brag to people that oh man no one understands themselves as me but now it's like man my,
Frank, what happen if one day you wake up, there's no one in the world, just yourself? What would you say to yourself in the mirror? That reflection that you'll see in the mirror, just you and nature, no one else, no people, no animals. How do you want to show up to that reflection in the mirror to be proud of yourself? And what you're going to say to the future self?
well I will say that uh damn uh you've come a long way in order to you've come a long way and now you are in the moment
You warrior.
I'm in the moment I am in the moment
You are. Embrace it. You are the warrior. You're the best version of yourself. You strive for it every single day to be better than you were yesterday. This is your destiny. Just to be better than you were yesterday. Always improve yourself. And then I think people will see what you feel to become, you feel to be. And then if you strive for being the best version of yourself, that's the paradox of life, that's a journey. There's no destination, there's no destiny, Frank. And then if you're not going to show up for people, just show up for yourself, but always try to impress just yourself. Because if you will be the best version of yourself, that let this, bright light shine out of yourself, then people will see you and they will love you, they will like you and respect you for what you respect yourself. They will see that brilliance aura.
Well, I just love what Brenda Leese just said, and I truly believe it's very apropos. And I definitely like to hear her on this when she said, you never start learning about yourself. And again, Frank, thank you so much for taking time out of your
Thank
day
you,
to be
Frank.
with
Wait,
us
wait. Can I
today.
say the last word? The last words. Very last words for you.
Go
Say
ahead.
it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah.
Man, like I think it's a journey. Like, damn, today. Thank you guys. It's my. I'm really humble. I'm becoming more and more humble. I feel even more grateful for life because you know, without me keeping going on, without me, signing up and being in this conversation, I will never be grateful like this. But so I would say last words. Thank you guys so much. It's been my honor, and it's been a pleasure to connect with you guys to have this conversation. It's been meaningful and changing a lot to me. And yep, I think I've got to go right now. So I hope you guys will have a wonderful day. And well, thank you, Chris. Thank you,
You.
Monica. Thank you, Brenda
Thank you.
Lees. Thank you,
Likewise. And
Amber.
just try to see your value through the eyes of others, how people see you, and embrace it, because you're wonderful, warrior. Yeah. And
All right.
congratulations.
All
Yeah,
right.
Good
thank
Thank you
luck.
so much.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right.
Frank. We'll definitely talk with you soon, and we'll definitely have you a part of our great and growing community and movement that is bringing humanity together. Thank you so much.
All
So
right.
again, like I said, Brenda Lees, I
Thank
truly
you.
want to hear
Bye.
from you about this, about you never stop learning about yourself, and that is truly amazing when we can say, "Hey, I'm willing to learn at least maybe one new thing a day to have a productive day."
I just think life is like we've been talking about in the past. Life is truly a journey. And with every turn and twist, there's a learning. And normally that learning helps you understand yourself better. So, yeah, you never stop learning about yourself because in this journey called life, you are in constant evolution and learning mode. Experiences teach you either more about you or about others. You're learning. You're always gonna be adjusting who you are based on the learning experiences that you have. And for example, you may be thinking this is my path, and as you are in that path, things happen, life shifts, and then all of a sudden you now have more clarity about who is the person that you are and what really makes you whole. And every step of the way, I mean, I'm gonna say my age here on live on a live show, right? I'm 47. Yes, I had to go back. Yeah, I'm 47. In my 47 years of this beautiful life, I think I've done more learning about myself in the last 2 months than I've done all my life. So, is it ever going to stop? No. And I know that my learning is just getting to like, it's just getting like on the curve. So, there's more to come. And I just embrace it. And that's all we can do. It's really embrace the unknown, love ourselves for who we are, and open our heart to the person we are becoming every single day.
It's
Absolutely,
true.
Brenda Lees, and that's why I love what you stand for about being you. And when we allow those kind of things to come into our lives, not only do we become better for it, but we also let that also be there for others too as well to become better for it too as well. So let's get to our final thoughts of today's great and engaging conversation with Frank's story. So, Monica, I'll start with you. What showed up for you today's great and engaging conversation with Frank?
Wow. So, our human experience, our human life is a paradox. Yeah. We've been destined for chaos, which is called life, um, turbulences, and then, you know, turmoil, as Brenda Lee's mentioned. I truly resonate with that. They're just lessons. So the sooner we understand that life isn't a destiny, it's the continuous journey, the better for us. And we'll stop fighting life, and we'll accept those lessons and then embrace them and then learn to become, the person that we're destined to be. But it's I truly believe, as Brenda Lee says, it's a never-ending story. It's a continuous lesson, you know. It's a continuous journey, and then there's not such a thing as a my destined, self. No. The future self, it's a continuous journey and continuous, development, evolution of yourself. And then the more you get, it's like once you skyrocket, it's just you want more and more and more. And then you just feels like, wow, I'm the best version of myself now. And you find a way to embrace, change and improvement still. So it's that's a beautiful, and this is called life. Yeah. So yeah, that's embrace the paradox of life, continuous journey and continuous improvements. Change is just inevitable. That's the only thing that's fixed in our life. And the sooner we understand, the better for us, and we stop suffering with really embracing life as it comes.
Yeah, that's
Thank
the one thing, Monica, that I actually recognize, and probably we should all recognize, is the one thing that's literally ever changing is that very change. That's the one thing that's the constant in and of itself. So, Amber, I'll go to you now. What's your final thoughts in today's great and engaging conversation with Frank today and his sharing of his story?
For me, it's just, going back, it's always about the journey. It's about how we evolve as human beings. And I wrote this recently. I was reading something and they were talking about the difference between the caterpillar and the butterfly, that metamorphosis. And we do that, but we do that as humans on a constant basis because we don't go from one to another. We are constantly changing little pieces about us so that the person I am now looks nothing like the person I was 10 years ago. Looks nothing like the person I was 20 years ago. And that person 10 years ago doesn't look like the 20 years ago either. And so you're constantly taking all those experiences that you have and reanalyzing that information and going, okay, does this work for me? Does this not work for me? Okay, these things didn't. I'm shedding this. That means you're becoming something else. You are removing parts of yourself that you realize or things about yourself that you've that doesn't work for me. That's a negative. That's a bit of a flaw. That's not pushing me forward. That's holding me back. I'm letting that go. And so we're constantly, I had written something out and like changed it because again, it was like this metamorphosis. And I was like, but we do that so often that we are like these evolving creatures that quite frankly, we get to choose what our journey is. We get to choose whether we want to be better or whether you want to stay exactly where you are. And I have lots of people that I left a decade ago because they decided that they wanted to be exactly as they are. And they haven't changed. They haven't changed since the day we left high school. And I love them to death, but they're never going to change. And I look at that like that is so absolutely boring. And honestly, you have shortened what you could be. You have shortened your sight. What is in front of you? Like you could do so much more. And you've gone, no, I'm good. 30 years old. I've hit my climax. Really? I'm 46. I haven't hit it yet. I don't plan to hit it anytime soon. You keep going up the ladder. And and the learning something new every day. That is something that I can remember when I went back to school, I was like 32, 33. And my grandmother was just like, I could never go back to school. And I was just like, didn't you learn how to sew? Didn't you learn how to crochet? Didn't you learn how to knit? Didn't you learn how to make reeds? Didn't you learn how to start doing jewelry? And you did most of those in the last 8 years. So since 72, you've picked up how many new skills you can learn? Yep. We all can learn. You have to decide you want to. And I do. Every day I decide to learn. I decide not to stay in the past. I decide that I'm going to move forward. And whatever new skill, whatever new thing I need to learn today, let's go.
Absolutely. And you really, really think about it, Amber, it really comes to this very dynamic. And I truly believe it, and we all truly believe it here at Bringing Humanity Together, that it comes down to choice. And choice is the ultimate path to freedom. So I'll get your final thoughts, Miss Brenda Lees. What say you?
My head is going in so many directions, to be honest with you, but all forward, nothing backwards. So all going forward. I I want to say I'm humbled because listening to someone as young as Frank shared his story, his concerns, and have so much like desired to shape his life in a very positive way. It's like it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And I think more people need to, more people from the younger generation need to embrace that. And I'm seeing it today significantly. Like I see it with the way we are raising my 13-year-old. I'm seeing it with the way I'm seeing other kids step into things out of their comfort zone, and they're really even driving spirituality to the next level. I think the younger generations have been able to crack the code earlier. I wish, sorry, I wish I had personally started my journey way sooner. However, I do realize my journey began very early, but I didn't have awareness that my journey began so early until now. So the fact that he's so young and he is already thinking about the footprint he wants to leave in this world, like how he wants to break the patterns, for me that's inspiring. And it's inspiring because regardless of the difference in age, it makes me feel that I need to continue fighting to leave a world better for my daughter and for the generations to come, and that I need to continue delivering the message to people that yes, we can, whatever you set your mind to achieve in this world, you can do it. You are as powerful as your mindset is. And if your mindset is driven by limitations, you're just limiting yourself. So tap into the limitations that you have and push them out, overcome them so you can become the version you're meant to be.
Beautiful.
I
And
love
Brenda,
that.
Lisa, apologies, sorry, Chris, just a second. It's a beautiful what you just said, but I think that we start the journey at certain stages that we truly ready for. So you must have started,
Absolutely.
early, but then you weren't ready for the full, evolution. You were still sort of that. You now butterfly, yeah, flying high. But then before that, you have to go through a number of experiences to be where you are today and to know what you know today. So this is like very tricky. We can't speed it up. And I was thinking about the same thing for myself, knowing what I know now, experiencing life in the way I'm experiencing now, seeing the things that I have not seen before. It would have been beautiful, just be there 10 years early, but it doesn't work that way. You have to be, everything happens for a reason, and you are in exactly the place that you're supposed to be in the moment, you are. So it's, yeah, obviously this is a paradox of life. And then it's beautiful stepping into the unknown, and then allowing yourself, it's almost like allowing yourself to become better every single day, because that fear keeps us still in the same place. And then, as Amber said, that was a beautiful thing, Amber, I need to mention, seeing your past and then people who you left in the past. It's really testament to how difficult is this journey. It's not easy, and some people really doesn't really have that power, the willpower, the courage to be where we are. And then it just tap yourself on the back where you are today, because that's a lot of courage. It takes a lot of willpower and a lot of inner discipline to be where you are, and then where every one of us is here today. Because what's easy doesn't really comes easy things, doesn't really grow you and doesn't develop you. So that's why we leave it in the past.
Well said, well said. And here's my thoughts on this great and engaging conversation about Frank's story. You're absolutely right, Brenda Leaves. When someone that young can really impress upon you that you can literally be a part of something bigger than of yourself, and you really want that, it doesn't really matter what age that is. It's about the willingness and also the awareness that we want to go there. and we're willing to take that first step into a much larger world, no matter where it takes us and leads us, or even define us in the way that we think it's going to define us. Maybe if we just say, hey, I'm willing to let life throw a curveball to me, and as long as I just hit that ball, that's all that matters. Because it's not a matter if I even get on base or even hit a home run. I'm willing to step up to the plate. And if I'm willing to step up to the plate, maybe, just maybe, the person next to me or behind me or beside me or whatever that might be, whether it be in a sports world or not, can say, hey, if Brenda Lee's can do it and Frank can do it and Monica can do it and Amber can do it, why can't I? Maybe it's about, again, like I said, just letting that be for what it is versus what it's not. And again, what I learned from my father at a very young age. Maybe if I can learn one new thing a day, then I will have a productive day. And maybe that's the nugget that we can learn today. So again, thank you so much, Monica. Thank you so much, Brenda Lee. Thank you so much, Amber. And of course, thank you to our special guest today, Frank, for sharing his story today. It was truly, truly amazing. If you'd like to come share your story on Conversation for Humanity, we would love to have you here. Or even if you want to be a part of our great and growing community and movement, and even within our 5 pillars of bringing humanity together, which is rooted in leadership, human development, health and wellness, family and community, please reach out to myself or to Monica, and we would love to have you to be a part of that great and engaging conversation and even opportunity in and of itself. So we'll see each other tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Humanity Happy Hour, the audio experience. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. If, like I said, if you'd like to connect with us, please let us know. Follow us on our business page on LinkedIn. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter and all those kind of things. So like I said, the social media handles is in the comment section of today's call. Let's connect, and let's not only bring that humanity together, let's truly bring that humanity into business and beyond. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Make your day. We'll see each other on Humanity Happy Hour, the audio experience tomorrow.